स्क्रीन आ रहा सबको?
हाँ आ रहा है।
सब आ गए ना? सब है ना अभी प्रेजेंट? मैं स्टार्ट कर दो
अरे
डॉक्टर।
जो इंटरेस्टेड है वो है, जो नहीं है नहीं है, चलो।
Good afternoon, everyone. Today my topic name is workplace welfare requirement and specific workplace issue. So, the learning outcomes which we are going to learn today. First is the outline the main issue associated with the maintaining structure safety of workplace. The second learning outcome is the outline the hazard risk and control working at height. Third is the explain the hazard risk and control for lone working. So basically, we are going to start with the main issue associated with the maintaining structure safety of workplace. Before we move on to this topic, first I want to know that what do you mean by structure? As a personal point of view, if I am asking you a question, what do you mean by structure? Then you should know what is structure. Structure is something. Structure. We can say give an example of that we are making a building. The building is a structure. But what it is made of? It is made of bricks, concrete, the organization properly organized of bricks and concrete in a certain position which can make to a structure which can make a building, that is a structure. Structure safety of workplace. A structure is an arrangement and organization of interrelated element in a material object or a system. But basically a structure is a well organized of material which can transform which we can transfer into a structure is in a well organized structure. Just like I am giving example of a building. If you're going to make building is a structure, but what is it is made of? It is made of bricks, concrete, and any other material which can transform into a building. That is a structure. Then what does affect the structure of a building? The first point is obviously weather condition will definitely going to affect the structure of the building. If it is raining heavily, or if tornado or some another kind of weather condition is there, then it can alternately affecting the structure of a building. The second point is the overloading of the structure. If certain building has a certain capacity, load bearing capacity, if it is being overloaded, then it can affect the foundation of the building, and it can damage the building structure of a building. The third point is the hot and corrosive atmosphere. If the hot and corrosive atmosphere, first of all, what is hot and corrosive atmosphere? I'm going to tell deep in the coming part. The fourth portion which can affect the structure of the building is the vibration. Fifth is the alternation of structure member. Sixth is the subsidence. Seventh is the deterioration of building material. Eight is the excavation, and last one is the unauthorized modification.
Sachin,
I'm telling you, huh?
can you please explain the meaning of
हाँ
subsidence?
अरे I'm going to मैं पूरा आगे बताऊंगा ना. I'm
Oh,
just telling you these are the factor which can cause
oh,
the damage to the structure of the building.
okay.
Every part is over there explained, so you need to show some patience over here, and you need to be more attentive because the wordings which I speak is too fast, so it is very hard for you people to catch up. So it is better that you need to show more concentration on my wordings and more concentration on the PPT. So it will be easier for you people to understand. So let's move on. What is adverse weather condition? It can be solar radiation, it can be rain, it can be overloading of structure, dead load, live load, dynamic load. Let's move on to what is solar radiation. Radiation which are coming from the radiation which are coming from the sun, which are affecting the structure of the building, because in a building there are n numbers of different kind of materials. Certain and every materials has this different capacity to absorb heat up to radiate heat. So it affect it's basically work on the different material absorption property and the radiation property. If certain material have a good absorption property, they will absorb the heat, but certain certain material do not have the same properties to absorb it, or certain material will have the property of radiating heat. So that is directly affecting the building of a material. If it can bring them, it can pour water. It can, if the rain is too heavy, then it can form a the foundation can affect the alternation of the building, which can affect the foundation of the building. If the wind is too heavy, then it can also affect the building structure. And the next part is we are talking about the overloading of structure. Overloading of structure is basically depend upon three parts: dead load, live load, and dynamic load. Dead load is the basically the constant load, which that is we can the roof. If you are living in a house, then the roof, the walls, all are the dead load because they will remain constant. But the live load is like furniture, the person, even the human beings are the live loads because they are alternately getting changed from one place to another. And the dynamic load is the load which are coming from the environmental factor, wind, then rain. These are all the dynamic load is nothing but it is also called as the environmental load also, but it is directly coming from the environmental factor. Is it able to understand now? Hello, did I'm going very fast or what? Dheeraj bhai,
No, it is fine.
Yes, bhai. Tell me.
is it audible for you people?
Yeah, it is audible for us, but there is some confusion regarding your headings. You have just mixed out 1 and 2 headings, and that's why that is a little bit of clarification is required in that. Adverse
Tell
weather
me
condition.
right now.
For that, I want to sum up that here in this slide, which we showing here, he want to describe the two factors. One is adverse weather condition, in which we comes to see that the solar radiation, rain and wind takes place apart, how this adverse weather condition affect. And then another second heading, he discusses about the overloading of structure. And overloading of structure, he told about he tells about 3 types of loads, that is dead load, live load, and dynamic load. So not a way of confusion. Everybody have to understand that here 2 topics have been shown in one slide. Okay, then
I
we
have
can
given
move.
2 different subtopics over here. You can
Yeah.
it is clearly visible that adverse weather condition having 3: solar radiation, rain, and wind. Whereas the overloading of structure depend upon the dead loads, live load, and the dynamic load. These are the factor contribution to the overloading of structure. These are the factor contribution to adverse weather condition. It is very already clarified that this portion is from the adverse weather condition, and the next portion is overloading of the structure. And I have given I have also given the pictogram over here, that it is clearly shown that what is dead load, what is live load, and dynamic load is, I told you that it is from the environmental factor also. It is from the you can say the wind blowing to the structure. These are other dynamic load which alternately getting changed from time to time. It is not a permanent load. Live load is like the furniture, people, fan, all these are the live loads. The dead load is
Then how we can differentiate between live load and dynamic load? Dynamic is also moving and live load can also move. You show that
dynamic load,
in right
listen,
side.
live load.
Bol.
I'm telling you, listen. Dead load is your structure of a building. That is a dead load. But the live load is the we are putting furniture, we are putting refrigerator, anything which are apart from the dead load, which we are bringing from the outside. I told you that furniture, people, these are live loads. They can't stay there at constant at the same place. They get moved over every place. Whereas the dynamic load is the wind, environmental factor. Rain. These are
Dynamic
not
load is
permanent.
wind.
Wind.
No.
Tell me that.
Here, that's why I was saying that you are confusing 2 other factors in single one. You says that adverse weather conditions have in other adverse weather conditions, solar radiation, rain and wind came. And in overloading structure, there are three types: dead load, live load, and dynamic load. Okay, then you mixing with dynamic load with wind. Then how it is possible you can make the dynamic load with wind? I understand that.
Listen,
I
listen. Dynamic load, it's a wind load. The wind which is passing through that house, it's having certain speed, which can have its certain loads on the structure. That is dynamic load. What else?
No.
Why no? Tell me.
I think clarification is required in that. You better know that because you prepared the topic, and I think
that's why I'm doing this. I have to wind load.
Sachin,
Or
Sachin, I have
हाँ बोलो ना, बोल दिव्यम.
Sachin,
हाँ.
Sachin, I have seen a definition of dynamic load. It is showing dynamic load definition is the live load on a structure. डायनेमिक लोड की जो डेफिनेशन है वो यही कह रही है कि डायनेमिक लोड इज अ लाइव लोड. तो इसको
मूविंग लाइव लोड,
ये लाइव लोड ही रहता है. डायनेमिक लोड जो है ना वो लाइव लोड ही है, लेकिन डायनेमिक में क्या होता है कि लोड जो है ना अचानक से आएगा और फिर चला जाता है. जैसे विंड बोल रहे हैं ना, ये मतलब हवा का झोंका आया.
No, that load that come in sudden, we call that impact loading. That is impact. It is sudden, sudden or impact.
Sir, we need your help, sir, right now. Amit sir.
I'm listening here. Actually, first of all, I will clear. We have, I think, we have two subjects. One is kinematics and one is dynamics. Okay, and there is difference between live load and dynamic load, and Sachin is right here. So first of all, dynamic is a load in which direction and force both are there. Okay, but in live load there may be a direction or there may not be a direction. Okay, but it is live, it can move, but not every time. Okay, so wind is following every time, so that's why he's saying dynamic load. And live load is like furniture, we can shift from one location to the another location. Currently you are not discussing the part of overall environment, you are discussing about a building structure. If we are considering a building, a room in which we are considering what is dead load, what is live load, what is dynamic load, then the answer is correct, which Sachin told, that live load is a person or furniture, and dead load is the building walls, roof, and dynamic load is the wind, the pressure between the inside the room, and all these things. So if it is not clear, we will clear it in next maybe 1 or 2 days. I will give examples of that. So let's continue, Sachin. And don't discuss any topic for that much of time. It will waste our time and it will not getting clear now. Okay, Sachin, start.
This much you can understand. After if you have any query regarding all those things, you can later talk to me. Please don't discuss in the middle of the presentation. We can discuss on the later on. If you have any point, if you have any query, I am there to solve for everyone. So better we concentrate right now. Let's move on to hot and corrosive atmosphere. What are the factors causing the hot and corrosive atmosphere? And what is hot and corrosive atmosphere? Hot and corrosive atmosphere is nothing but the atmospheric contaminant which include sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, oxygen, and ozone. In the presence of moisture, they contribute to the formation of acid that attacks certain material. What it is saying that atmosphere contains, what are the atmosphere contaminants? Basically, atmosphere contaminants are sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, and oxygen, and ozone, which in the presence of air, which in the presence of moisture in the air, they get contribute to the factor of formation of acid. In the formation of acid, which later on can attack the certain material like metals, concrete, cement, and stone. And atmospheric corrosion, how it occurs? It occurs when a metal combines with oxygen in the air to form dust. This is known as corrosion. This is corrosion factor. Atmospheric corrosion occurs when a metal combines with oxygen in the air to form dust. The process of making a rust to forming a rust is known as corrosion. The process is usually accompanied by expansion of the metal, which can affect the adjacent material. Because in the presence of air and moisture, the metal get react with the and it can form rust, and so it can deteriorate the property of that metals. Basically, atmospheric corrosion can deteriorate the property of metal, its capability, its strength can be deteriorated due to the atmospheric corrosion. Vibrations. Vibration are caused by traffic machinery. Certain process can be prolonged, intense, and can affect the foundation of building. As you know that vibration can affect the building. If more vibration is there, then what happened that the foundation of the building get be there may be a slight chance of the of there may be slight chance that the structure there may be chance that the structure may be shaking due to the presence, due to the loosening of soil, which can ruin the property, which can hello hello is it audible for you?
Yes, Sachin, we are listening.
The first para is saying that vibration caused by traffic machinery. What do you mean by traffic? Traffic machinery which are moving on a regular basis on a road, which can, if heavy load vehicles are moving, then it can cause more vibration to the structures, even to the bridges. So it is saying that if the vibration caused by traffic machine, certain process can be prolonged and intense. Prolonged, said if I'm talking about a bridge. On a bridge, there are n numbers of vehicles moving and n number of different kind of vehicles which are having different loads. Then each vehicle having different vibrations, and certain vehicles have certain vibrations. If heavy load vehicles are moving, then it can cause an intense vibration which can affect the structure of a building. But it is there for a constant. It is not there for a constant time, but it is for a prolonged time that the cars or the heavy motors on the bridges are not stopping. They are continuously moving. So they are impacting the foundation of the structure. How it is impacting the foundation of the structure due to the vibration that caused by the machinery, which can affect the foundation. There are three types of rotation: out of balance rotation, friction between moving parts, impact and percussion. Out of balance rotation is that if there if any if you're using any machinery, if the center of gravity or the material which are causing vibration are loosely tight, so our rotation that means they are not moving in a rotation. If there is a imbalance in the center of gravity, then the rotational will not take in a aligned manner. It can take in a tilt manner, so that it can alternately affecting the structure. This point, out of balance rotation is clarified that it is due to the difference in the center of gravity. If the center of gravity is in the middle, of any structure, but due to difference in the load, due to difference in the size, the center of gravity can move here and there. If I'm having a machinery which is having a center of gravity in the middle, but due to difference in the load on the both side of the material, the center of gravity can shift from one place to another. Even after shifting the center of gravity, but we are using the same center of gravity field, then the rotational will not align in the same manner. The rotational will not take in a smooth way. It will take in the tilt part. And then second point is the friction between moving parts. Friction between moving parts, what? If a moving part, if a certain machinery is moving in a certain way, but if it's getting in contact with any, if it is getting in contact with a stationary part, then it can cause a friction between them. And the third is impact and percussion. So can you tell me something about impact and percussion in structure? Amit sir. The percussion.
Yes, I am listening.
So what do you mean of percussion?
Not aware.
The
Let me
percussion
check
is
and
Sachin, can you repeat that word?
percussion.
I would like to tell.
Collision, takkar.
Collision.
Percussion is the point you are using a drill machine. The point where the needle is joined is known as percussion point.
Needle.
Hello,
Needle is joined.
you know that
Nadeem can tell, na? Nadeem prepared the PPT. Nadeem, can you tell what is impact and percussion?
इम्पैक्ट जैसे इम्पैक्ट के बारे में सर उसमें बता रहा था कि गाड़ी से अगर वॉल में टक्कर होता है तो उसके कारण भी वो मतलब कमजोर होता है, तो वो भी एक इफेक्ट है। और प्रिकॉशन को बता रहा हूँ
is I think Nadeem, it's a type of explosion, like a short explosion, which broke the windows and all this.
okay, percussion.
Okay, I noted down this point. I will explain in next meeting or slide. I have noted 2 points. One is dead and live load and dynamic load. Second is percussion. Okay, chalo. Next.
All of the above can cause weakness to occur not only in the structure member but also in the joining system, welds, bolts, and even addition. Alternation to the structure member. Structure are now designed so that the maximum is gained from the minimum. Why we design structure? If we don't design structure, then how we able to know the load bearing capacity? Divam, is anything to say?
Yeah, I have like I have studied a little bit of these things in mechanical subject, one of the mechanical subject. I can tell like structures are drawn with the measurements so that load is uniformly distributed among the whole structure, and the building can uniformly stand among its own weights.
Okay. Is anybody more to say about this? You can speak. We want this that it should be not one way communication. It should be a all way communication. Everyone should. Hello. Everyone should take a part in that. We are on a learning phase.
What you have mentioned in the slide, that structure are now designed that maximum gain is from the minimum. It is a very simple example. We seeing that before in past we made our homes with bricks only. We constructed with bricks. Nowadays we started it with the concrete columns. Beams and columns are the main members that has been constructed. After that the brickwork is there, and all the load is distributed on these plinth beams or lintel beams. All these beams have uniformly taken all the load. That is the point that cleared your line, that structure are now designed so that maximum is gained from the minimum. So जो बीम्स वगैरह रहते हैं उनसे वो बड़े इजीली आप उसको यूनिफॉर्मली डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर सकते हो। वो हमारे जो सोम है, स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ मटेरियल्स वगैरह है, उसके अंदर हम डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ बेंडिंग मूवमेंट एंड शियर फोर्स डायग्राम पढ़ते हैं। उससे हमको पता चलता है कि यूडीएल क्या होता है, कैंटिलीवर बीम्स क्या होते हैं, या डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ बीम है वहाँ पे, तो वहाँ से हम उसको क्लियर कर सकते हैं उस चीज।
Subsidence. As Dheeraj bhai told, what do you mean by alternate to structure member? Structure is earlier what Dheeraj bhai said that earlier we are not planning properly. We make structure without any planning and plotting. So what happened that maximum load bearing capacity is not gained from that. Now we are as we are moving from day to day life. Now the things has been changed that architectures are called to make it. So what purpose we are calling architecture? So that the structure has the what load bearing how load can be transferred to all the structures.
just for gaining maximum, we make it proper structure. Subsidence. What is subsidence? Subsidence is nothing but what we say that the soil in the wait a second. And the ground beneath a building sinks. Substance is that the soil in the foundations are loose or loosened so that it can't support the foundation of the building. Subsidence, I'm telling simple definition. Subsidence is, what is subsidence? Subsidence is the what that the soil with the structure foundation are not supporting to the structure. That means the soil over the foundation are loosened up so that it can't support the structure of the foundation of the structure. What are the main reason for having forming such kind of subsidence? The structure is only as good as its foundation. If the foundation fails, then the structure will also fail. Therefore, we have to ask ourselves, what will possibly reduce the load-bearing capacity of the soil beneath the foundation to such an extent as to result in movement? Unfortunately, the answer is many things, including the content is more than the water content. Mines and tunnels beneath the excavation. These are the factors which are contributing to the formation of subsidence. These are the factors which are contributing to the subsidence. Or if the foundation, if the structure is overloaded, then it can move further in. If the water content is more, then the soil movement is it can't support foundation. Which can rupture the soil, which can lead the foundation to destroy. And last one is excavation. If the excavation.
Sachin, 1 minute. Sachin, 1 minute. Do you have any question on the last slide? Subsidence, Divyam, are you clear now or something to ask?
I have cleared a little bit, sir. Like I have read the first line. Structure is as important as its foundation. I have got an idea like substance is the alternative material, maybe something like that.
No. Subsidence is a item which bears maximum force or load. Okay, and in most of the structure buildings, foundation is the item which bears most of the load. Okay, so he is discussing about foundation, and foundation can be damaged due to water ingress. Maybe there is mines or tunnels beneath the foundation. Maybe what are the other content? Maybe someone do excavation near our foundation. So these are the points. So subsidence here in this point in this topic is you can consider it as a foundation. Okay. Dance, are you clear till
Sir.
time or something to ask?
No, I am very clear, sir. Thank you.
Danis, do you have any question?
Yes, sir. पूरा clear नहीं हुआ sir.
You are getting English or something wrong is there?
थोड़ा सर हिंदी में एक बार बोल दीजिए, ये पूरा clear नहीं हो रहा sir.
Okay. So now onwards you have to listen carefully, yeah? Be focused. Okay, Sachin, start.
Deterioration of building material. First of all we know what do you mean by deterioration? Deterioration means decomposing, degrading. The main building material used in structures are timber, concrete, and steel in all their many forms. All of this will deteriorate in time and in adverse condition. What it is saying that in a construction of a building, we use timber, concrete, and steel. All have their different deterioration properties. In certain times they can deteriorate, and in certain weather conditions they can adversely be deteriorating. So The factor which are contributing to for a deterioration of building materials are the environmental factor is the first one, the vibrations, the standard of workmanship, lack of maintenance. How the I have shown a simple photograph over there how the buildings got deteriorate in a time span. If the building, if adverse weather condition is that if we are making a building in which woods and timbers are being used, so if the weather condition over there is raining mostly the summer and the snowfall and rainy season, then it can contribute to the factor of deterioration of the timber material. As you know that timber. Hello.
Yes, more Sachin, we are listening. Saurabh, you want to ask something or just?
Sir, like in the last slide, sir, when we were talking about the foundation, and you told that there are several factors which will be like influencing the foundation. So, sir, like flood and soil erosions are one causes for that, no?
Yes, that may be also.
Because sir, we see in the flood and all, like whole the building structure above the ground surface will be fine, but from its foundation, from its base only the building got demolished.
That's what we have discussed now. Water ingress is the first point.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Now, Sachin, what do you want to say? Carry on. Okay, for all, our English is also not good. So please try to speak in English, including Danish, Saurav, and all. We are here to improve only. Okay. It may be I am speaking wrong, maybe Sachin is speaking wrong, or maybe we all are speaking wrong. But it will give us a habit of something speaking in English. Maybe a good communication is maybe a step toward good communication. So all are requested to speak in English a little bit up to your limits. Okay. If you are getting again you are confusing and not getting cleared, you can ask in Hindi also. Okay. But first try to speak in English. Okay. Now carry on, Sachin.
Okay. As I told you that the environmental factors clearly affect the structure of a building. If we using timbers, we are using concrete, we are still. Everything has its different deteriorating property, and everything has its own properties. The environmental factor contributing if the weather is too hot and humid, can also rainy. So that if it is too rainy, then the timbers, that timbers get deteriorated due to the presence of water and moisture, and even the metals are getting rusted due to the presence of moisture in the air, even due to the cold climate. So this and the vibration, as I told you, already told in the previous phase that what vibrations or what are the vibration of which are affecting the building of a material. And the third one is the standard of workmanship. Sir, I need something. So I need something from your end in the specification of the standard of workmanship. What do you mean the standard of workmanship?
Workmanship is nothing but how is the work is performed. So if I am giving an example that we have a wall, but it's not being made straight, means purely vertical. It's little bit of tilted. So during the time period, it will make collapse. Okay, same is for columns and others are also there. If we are preparing something that we are making a stool in a building, and stool is also a structure in which materials are used. If we are making a stool and we put one nail on the last corner of the stool and it get out after some time, so this is the standard of workmanship, means how work is performed. It is work performance is quality of work performed by the some person, or maybe the designer, maybe the carpenter, maybe the fabricators, all these things.
Designated person actually.
I will like to add an example at this point. Can I?
Yes.
I will like to like you everyone has seen the Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal is an excellent piece of workmanship. It is quite sometimes says in every book, it is quite a good masterpiece of workmanship. It's an example.
Good example. And the last one is the lack of maintenance. If maintenance is not done properly at time to time, regular interval, so it can lead to a deterioration of building property. If certain materials required to be changed or replaced, if it is not changed, then what happens that it can deteriorate. It can lead to a fall of structure, as you seen in the image showing downside, that how the building get deteriorate as time to time from one phase to the last phase. Is it visible to all of you? The downside image.
Yes.
Excavation,
Yes.
as we all are working in a construction field or in an electrical field, all of we work in a construction field also. So we all people know what do you mean excavation. Excavation, what do you mean by excavation? In simple terms, excavation means what do you mean to take out the soil from beneath from the ground to make a excavated pits. Nothing, it is nothing, but it is vitally important to ensure before excavation are carried out, the stability of building adjacent to the work area will not be adversely affected by the excavation. What happened that if we are excavating if we are excavating with the help of excavator near the building material, near the building, so what happened that if we excavate too deep, then what happened that the foundation, it can affect the foundation of the building, as we told the subsidence. What happened subsidence? What happened that the water what Servo told na, that soil supporting the foundation, ground stability get affected due to the presence of as we do excavation, the ground stability of the foundation can be affected, so it can lead to a fall of building, or it can happen. It is happened in many cases. I have seen one cases in certain times ago that one excavator was excavating near the building. So what happened then? It was excavated too deep that the foundation got collapsed and the building got collapsed. So we need to clearly see that if the excavation is going on nearby the building, so it should not be.
I think Sachin, Danish has better examples for that. He is working with a civil company in Delhi Metro, and around the civil company, they were making tunnels for underground metros, and there were vibrations, cracks in the nearby buildings, and all these things. Danish, do you know that point or something? I'm saying something different.
No, sir, I have never worked in civil company. I am working in recon.
So, are you aware about that point that some buildings got cracked and due to vibration and the tunnel underneath them?
Yes, sir, I am aware, but मेरे को सर
But
मैंने
you are
मतलब
not
कभी
working
काम
there.
नहीं किया सर. Yes, sir.
It's okay. Last part is the unauthorized modification to building. If certain buildings are designed in before constructing a building, certain designs are to be made of for constructing a building. Even if after constructing a building, if you're doing certain modification, then it can alter the capacity of a building. It can lead to the alternation in the capacity of the building. If it is written that the structural safety of a building relies on the integrity of load-bearing roof beams, walls, and floor. If there are proposal to carry out significant alteration in the structure of a building, then it is essential the effect of this alteration considered at the planning stage. It is said that if you have any modification to be made after some times, after certain prolonged period, then you need to be have a considered at the planning stage. Before doing any modification, all those things should be planned before making any changes in the building. If the load bearing capacity can't be gained, if certain buildings have certain load bearing capacity, if we are making any alternation after 10 years, then the strength of the beams can't be the same, and it can't be stand up on that additional load bearing, additional modification. So it can rupture, or it can really going to affect the foundation of the building. So it's if the building has its age of 20 years, then it cannot be withstand up to 20 years. It can be which can be getting collapsed in 18 years or 19 years due to the alternation in the structure.
Dheeraj, you want to add something in that? Have you seen any collapse due to unauthorized modification or alteration in the building?
See, sir, what Sachin says that after 10 year or 20 year there is an decrease in the efficiency or the load bearing capacity of the beams, but it is not like that way. It can be in the new building also, because unauthorized means you can't calculate it the load bearing capacity of the building, and you just give a modification in that just for aesthetic purpose, means just for good looking purpose. And if you give alteration in that without calculating, without a calculation of load, without a permission of a person who designed that, without a person permission of an architecture, then these types of collapse will be seen. If not the collapse, we very commonly see different types of cracks, because as the beam or any wall is removed from that area, and the whole the structure get out of crack, and different types of alteration, and the last factor is the whole the building can collapse. That's the main factor which we see during the modifications mainly. That I want to add in that, sir.
I'm just saying that if unauthorized modification is made, then the strength of the building can't be the same. That's what I'm saying. The strengthening of the building can't be the same. It is somehow affecting the properties. It is somehow affecting the load bearing capacity or any other factor contributing to the.
Okay, next Sachin.
इसको अगर आपको समझना बहुत अच्छे से है तो मैं एग्जांपल अपनी साइट का दे सकता हूँ अभी. एक्चुअली क्या हमारी साइट्स के ऊपर अभी बिल्डिंग डिजाइन की है, ठीक है, वो डिजाइन की है तो वो अप्रूव होगी, REL ने उसको अप्रूव कर दिया, लेकिन रेलवे के जो GMs वगैरह रहते हैं वो जब विजिट करते हैं उसको, और डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ वो बोलते हैं कि इसके अंदर ये तो हमने रिक्वायर्ड इन था, किससे ड्राइंग अप्रूव कराइए, किससे नहीं कराइए, और उसके अंदर डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ अल्ट्रेशन बोल देते हैं. लेकिन जो वहाँ पे हमारा सिविल इंजीनियर है या जो भी जिसने भी बिल्डिंग डिजाइन करवाई है कॉन्ट्रैक्टर ने, वो वहाँ बोलता है कि अगर आप इसको हटा के यहाँ से करोगे तो लोड बेरिंग कैपेसिटी उस चीज़ की खत्म हो जाएगी. जैसे कि एग्जांपल अभी हमने कैथल के उसमें देखा था रेलवे स्टेशन में, उसने बोला कि स्टेशन मास्टर की वॉल हटा के यहाँ से और यहाँ पे बाथरूम के लिए एक एरिया छोड़ दो यहाँ पे, और अगर हम उस वॉल के अंदर ऑलरेडी पहले ही क्रैक था, तो उस चीज़ को हमने सिविल जो कस्टमर था उसको भी समझाया कि अगर हम यहाँ पे ऐसा करेंगे, हमारे कॉन्ट्रैक्टर ने भी यही बात बोली कि अगर ऐसा करेंगे आपका एस्थेटिक पर्पज तो सोल्व हो जाएगा, आप वहाँ पे जो आप बनाना चाह रहे हो बन जाएगा, लेकिन ऊपर से पूरी की पूरी बिल्डिंग कोलैप्स हो सकती है. इसको बोलते हैं अनऑथराइज्ड मॉडिफिकेशन. मतलब आपने बिना कैलकुलेशन के कोई भी मॉडिफिकेशन प्लान कर ली, और उसका जो आउटकम्स है, जो कॉन्सिक्वेंसेज है, मतलब जो उसके रिजल्ट्स हैं आफ्टर इफेक्ट, वो आपने काउंट नहीं किया. वो काउंट को कौन करेगा? ना तो आप उसको काउंट कर सकते हैं, ना हम काउंट कर सकते हैं. उसको वो काउंट करेगा जिसने इसको डिजाइन किया है, जिसको उसकी नॉलेज है डिजाइन करने की, कि कितना वो लोड बेयरिंग कैपेसिटी है, कितना वो बियर कर पाएगा और कितना नहीं. तभी हम सिविल इंजीनियर्स को रेफर करते हैं साइट्स पे.
Sachin, Dheeraj is right. We have 2 points. One is unauthorized modification and second is alteration in the building. You are here mixing alteration and unauthorized modification both. Unauthorized modification means without permission and above the design. And alteration means that we have a building and after 10 years, 20 years, 5 years, we made some alterations, we made some changes, and due to the changes, building is getting worse or something damaged in the building.
So alternation.
Yes.
Can I got a sentence in it?
No, sir.
Yes.
In alteration also we can calculate it the load, and we can do alteration. Many times we see that in our buildings we done the alteration, but after calculation the proper load and after proper consulting with the person who architect that.
Yes, Saurabh, what do you want to say?
Sir, I wanted to add one sentence in this. Like, sir, what I understand from this, like alteration and modification. Like, sir, we have got one building structure. Then in building structure, mainly the thing is that the beam, which actually bears the load. So like if we are dispositioning, like changing the position of the beams or changing the position of that, changing the position of beams and foundation beams, then I think it will be a modification. And in the case of alteration, like we are changing the, we can say that increasing the length of the wall or like decreasing the length of the wall. Is it so?
Sir, that is not the modification. That is unauthorized modification, because you are not authorized for doing the modification.
That's what I wanted to say, unauthorized modification. Yeah, unauthorized modification.
Because there is several factor. I just saw the drawing first time of design of building. Almost 14 to 15 people have to sign that building drawing. After that, it will be approved. Okay. So
Yeah,
several
apart
factors
from
have been
this,
calculated
Okay, so
there.
don't discuss here too much on that topic. I am just saying that unauthorized modification and alterations. Okay, I think all have idea about unauthorized modification, alterations, and all. Sachin, now let us carry on. This is the alteration, na? Sachin, alteration. So alteration. Here it's saying, na, it is very rare to find new structure that has been over designed. Means old structures were over designed, first of all. Second, if we have designed a new structure and we do something alteration above this design, then it is alteration to the structure members without design.
So, so sir, shall we move on?
Yes.
Now, I'm going to tell you some of the sign of structural damage. Typical sign of damage might include sagging roof. Sagging roof means it is bending downwards, bulging of cracked walls, sign of flaking masonry, collapsed wall, sign of corrosion of brickwork, dampness, gaps around window or door frames, uneven floor. If any of the above are identified, it is necessary to get the opinion of an expert to determine the extent of damage and what, if any, remedial action is needed. These are the structural damage. If it is very common to see all those things in old age building or old age house. Even in our house also we have seen such factors, bulking of bulking of back walls, sagging roofs. These are the sagging roof. You know, no people. What do you mean sagging roof? Hello,
No, sir. No, sir.
Sagging.
sagging roof
Sagging
What is
means
means
sagging?
it
Danis,
can
what is sagging?
Sir, I don't know. Sir.
it is happened.
sag
But it
is
what happened that it's bent downward. The roofs which are aligned in a proper if it was in a starting state, if the roof was in a straight aligned manner, then it get downward due to the it get bent downwards due to the weight
Uh,
or pressure.
Danis, have you seen our store, MNP second store?
Yes, sir.
And in this we have one metal beam which is got bent in between, means it got sagged.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Have you seen or not?
Yes, sir. I have seen.
So that is sagging.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Now
next
the
Sachin.
next top now the next topic is very familiar for
Okay,
us,
Sachin,
and
first
it
of
is
all
introduction to
ask
working at height. as we are
Sachin,
as we
Sachin,
are working in our day-to-day life.
Sachin. Amit sir is saying
Yes,
something.
sir.
Sachin, first of all ask, is there
Sir.
any
Hello.
problem in
Yeah,
these
yeah, sir.
words to anyone? Last slide.
That's why I asked about do you people know what is sagging of bulging cracks,
Is there
or if you
anybody who is not aware about any of the word in this slide?
Uh, I would
Sign
like
structural damage.
I would like to ask about the
what
third point, signs of flaking machinery. I don't know about this.
So
see
making machine. Mm,
the image on the left right hand side of the is there, you can see that flaking masonry. Flaking masonry means hello.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Like you can see the image
Second image.
right second
uh,
image.
Okay.
there are
It's
in the
the
second
formation
image
of
showing
flakes. You
some
know the flakes
flaking
form
flaking machine.
foam type. See, you
Okay,
can see
okay,
the
okay, 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 okay. I got it. Yeah.
In the
Right.
third picture,
anybody has
she's
Yes,
working in the
sir.
paint.
Yes,
The paint.
yes,
Similarly, they're working in the bricks and all. That's what it's
yes.
saying. Sign of lacking.
Yeah, it is very common, sir. Thank you, sir.
it is
Uh,
it is
Yeah.
foam type. Actually, it is forming. Flakery means foam type.
Yes, yes, yes.
Akbar, you want to
So
ask something?
so guys, shall we move on?
Or-
Okay. This type of incident also happen in our OHE store. OHE store.
Yeah, Akbar sir.
Like the
Yes.
the bathroom roof is collapsed. Not only one time. This is two times. It is collapsed due to this lacking masonry.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
And
Next.
you people know what is dampness?
Dampness is moisture
Dampness
condition.
is meaning slightly wet. Okay. Very good. Yeah. Now we are moving to introduction to working at height. As we are familiar, we are working at work at height on a daily basis in RRB. As you people are from OHE, so most of the things you know at the working height, and you may be the master in it, but still I'm telling you what do you mean working at height. Work in any place where if precaution were not taken, a person could fall or distance liable to cause personal injury. This I don't need to explain. As you know, all people, if we are not taking certain control measure, if we're getting fall from a certain height, then it can lead to a fracture, or it can also lead to a death, or it can cause a severe injuries to our body. So the hazards and risks of working height, the main risks from working at height are those of injury or death resulting from people falling from height, falling from unprotected edge above ground level, falling from ground level into pits, falling off a ladder, falling through a structure, object falling from a height onto people below. These are some hazards
So
and
I
risks of
have one
working at height.
question. I have one question to all. We are working nearby a pit. It is height work or not? Kaustubh,
Yes,
is it
sir.
height work if you are working near a pit, or it is a underground work? What you say?
Sir, both, I think. Not sure.
What is the difference?
Because workers are working in the deep also, at the same time workers are working at the top roof also. So it could be a height work, but also same time underground work also is carried out.
So
It
means
is
if
two
persons
types,
are
brother.
working inside the pit, so it is a underground work, or if person is working near the edge of the pit.
About the
Yeah, it is height work.
that is
Okay. So, next.
risk. A key control measure for working at height is of course the risk assessment. Before any work at height is carried on, we need to prepare a risk assessment for working at height. Whether it is above 1.8 meters, it is considered as a height work. So we should be properly planned. Proper planning should be there. Proper supervision should be there. Safety TBT, as we say, conducted safely, and the things we are going to do it should be done in a proper manner. It should be done in a safely so that no one can get injured. Only the height work should be carried only by the competent person. And there are some we are the hierarchy of control. There is simple hierarchy of control for working at height that employer should follow. First of all, if it is avoidable, then it should be avoid to working at height. If we can use certain things which we can avoid people for working at height, it should be avoidable. Elimination, that means elimination. Second is to prevent fall from the height. We need to use certain measures such as we are using. If you are working on a height, we are using safety harness, lifeline to prevent fall from a height. Minimize the distance and consequence of fall. It, and the third point is to minimize the distance and consequence of fall. If you minimize the distance, then that means the impact of the fall may not be at that severe if you are minimizing the distance, but still it will be impactful. But we should be able to minimize the distance. But it is practical. It is not avoidable everywhere. But we avoid that prevent minimize the distance as we are using RRV. If a person getting fall from RRV, then he may get fall in that RRV only. Earlier we used to use Caesar lift or MEWP, In that case, if a person is getting from fall from that MEWP, he will directly land to the ground. हाँ mobile element or the MEWP वही पूछ रहा हूँ. The person will get a fall from a certain height to the directly to the ground. Now we are using RRB. If a person getting fall from RRB, then he will be getting the distance is minimized. It is not to the ground level, it is minimized to a central level. And last important, when choosing option 2 and 3 from the hierarchy, give collective protection priority over personal protection. Sir, I need some contribution from you and give collection protection priority over personal protection. What it says, sir? Sir? Amit sir? Hello?
Yes, Sachin, my speaker was off.
Sir, tell me something about give collective
So what you want to ask?
over personal.
Give collective protection priority over personal protection. Collective protection priority means he is saying physical barriers. Personal protections means PPs, and collective protections priorities means physical barriers, admin controls, like we are allowing a person who is well trained in height work. These are the collective protection priorities.
And sir, the example which I gave about the
avoid working at height is a kind of elimination. Prevent fall is a kind of substitution. We can prevent falls, we can put safety net and all these things. Minimize distance is also a kind of engineering control, but collective protection are the mix of admin and this engineering control, like physical barriers, trained personals, proper supervision, all these things.
Okay, proper guarding. Sir,
proper guarding, all these things.
Earlier I gave an example of RRV regarding the minimizer distance.
Actually, Sachin, it is good example. In this, we are giving a from platform to the persons. In case of MEWP or in case of actually, I have one more meeting now. 1 minute. Let me put my speaker off. Sachin, you have given examples of RRV, MEWP, and this ladder trolley. Okay, ladder trolley and MEWP. There are a lot of other hazards are there. First of all, let us discuss about MEWP. MEWP are mostly runs from the live roads, on the public roads. That why we have chosen this RRV. Second thing is ladder trolley. Stability of ladder trolley is very less as compared to the RRV. But as we are discussing the hierarchy of control in height work, okay, so you can give examples of RRV, but it is not that much of relevant that if a person will fall from the RRV, it will be on the viaduct. But in case of MEWP, it will be on the road. This is not like that, but there is other factors also. So avoid working at height means we have to create a stable working platform at that height, or we have to provide any solution so that we not need to go to the height. I have one example for that. In the previous time, maybe Danish and all previous persons have idea of that. First of all, we are erecting mast, then we are going to erect the this cantilever portion. Danish, is it okay now?
Yes, sir. Yes.
First of all, we erect a mast, then we erect the cantilever portion bracket, and then we place the other OHG type of work. But now what we are doing, we are erecting cantilevers along with the portals, so it eliminate the work at height for cantilevers. So this is an example. Prevent falls is a lot of examples are there. One of the example is this. We can provide safety nets so that if person will fall, then it will not hit the ground. It will be catched by the safety net and all. And minimized distances are also part of this hierarchy of control. So Yes, Divya.
I will also like to add an example of avoiding working at height. Like earlier, we are using slings over to put boom on the mast. We are using sling, and then we have to go and remove that sling. So now we are tying up that sling in a manner that by pulling by ropes, it is directly coming down. So here also we are avoiding by going up there and working at height. So it is also
Yeah.
an example.
So these are the practical examples what we are following. So I think Sachin, is it okay or I have to add something more?
No, sir. Is it okay? If I need any kind of, I will be calling you again.
Is there any doubt in other person's mind, or we have to continue? Dheeraj,
Continue, sir.
Sir, no issue, sir.
Dheeraj, Nadeem, Nitin,
हाँ सर
doubt or can we continue?
कंटिन्यू
Sir, I have a doubt about
Yes.
collective protection. That I have read one PPT, one PDF that there is
Okay.
a showing collective protections are a guardrails or a safety nets before specifying personal forest equipment.
That's what I'm saying. Na physical barrier is a guardrail. Na.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
We are
continue.
moving on. Okay, we are moving
Akbar,
on.
you want to add?
No, sir, continue, sir. Thank you.
Next, we are moving on to the rescue measures. What are the rescue measures should be taken while working at height? One risk assessing and planning work at height is important to include provision of first aid and rescue measure. If you are working on a roof, on the work platform of a scaffold structure, in a cradle of a mobile elevating work platform, in a suspended cradle. In some cases, the excess equipment that worker is using may malfunction or become stuck, and they may be stranded. So they are not casualty. They still need to be rescued. What happened that in some we as machinery we know that certain faults can come anytime, any moment. So we need to be prepared for that. For preparing for that, we need to make a rescue plan so that if certain dysfunctioning happen over there, so how we need to handle that situation. For handling that situation, we need to make a rescue plan. If certain we need to make a rescue plan. If we are working in a mobile elevator platform, the movement of the mobile elevator after going up is stopped. So how we are going to take that person down? So we need to make a proper rescue plan for it. So rescue plan should be the first part in the planning. Before making any planning at work at height, we should also make a rescue plan for it. If certain things have gone wrong, then what certain measure need to be taken to prevent that, to take out of that situation. So it is clear now. Hello, I need everyone's opinion. That is it able to is it I'm able to understand? Is it able to understand you people what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
So we are moving on to the next topic, that is introduction to loan working. What is
Kaustubh, you
loan
want
working?
to ask something or just?
No, we can continue.
Okay. Loan working. Loan worker are those who work by themselves without close or direct supervision. Loan worker may be found in wide range of situations, both in fixed establishment and work away from the fixed places. What happened in loan working? What is loan working? Loan working means a single person is working in a certain situation where it is not getting supervised, or no one is there to see that person what is going through. If in that situation, what happened that the people may get, if a person is having any health issue, if a person is going, if a person is having heart issue, heart problem, or some another kind of health related problem, then it can affect, if it can affect the person. If a loan working is there, if certain drastic conditions came across that person, so then there at that time there will be no one to take care of that guy, and no one is to see that guy what he's going through. Lone worker may be found in a wide range of situations, both in fixed establishment and work away from the fixed places. It is saying that lone worker may be found in a wide range of situations at a certain fixed position, fixed place, or it can vary. The place of working can be vary from place to place. If it is in a fixed establishment, that is like small workshop, petrol station, or shop,
Sachin,
or the normal
Sachin,
hours.
hello.
Sir.
You are not getting
Yeah.
means distracted now. Actually, I have one more meeting. I have started that meeting in my phone.
Okay, sir.
So in between, I have to be there in that meeting. So if you want to ask any question, you can ask. I am listening your voice also, but it will take little time to respond. Okay.
Okay, no, not an issue.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. So we are talking about the fixed establishment and work away from the fixed basis. What is fixed establishment? Fixed establishment means a small workshop where a person will come daily and go having work on a fixed place. And the work away from the fixed place means construction, plant installation, maintenance, electrical repair, vehicle recovery. These are the work away from the fixed places. In these cases, the construction activities goes around the different places. When the person at one time the guy is like in Sitawadi, the next moment he will be in the Lokmanya Nagar. So there don't be a fixed place like we are working in RRB. We are not working in a fixed place. We are moving from one place to another. That is work away from the fixed places. Like in our case, if we are working in Hingna station, then then our 7 days routine is that we are working in Hingna only. Then that is our fixed place for 7 days. That we are in the Hingna only. But work away from the fixed place means it can get changed from time to time. From one place at one time he will be here, the next moment that guy will be there. So these are the work away from the fixed places. The hazard and risk of lone working: violence, accident or ill health, excess and egress, hazard of the task, operating machinery, vulnerabilities. The hazard we will be talking about the accident or ill health. So I told you that worker has gone through a heart attack. So there won't be anybody to take care of that guy who will take that guy to a hospital. Now first aid measure will be taken over there. So these are the hazards and risks for the accident and excess and egress. If there is a office cleaning work, after office cleaning work, if I'm talking about that our office cleaner, if they are lonely working, if by mistake he gets slip and trip over there, he may get fall. So he may get fall. At that time, no one will be there to take care. If he is lone working over there, then nobody is there to take care of that guy who will take that guy to the hospital. At a certain time period, he will be there only unattended. He will be unattended there for a certain period of time. The hazard of the task. What kind of task he is doing? If he is doing hard work, if he is doing well, like hard work, maintenance of machinery, or working in a confined space, then it can have various hazards relating to the task. He may get burned. He may get if machinery is there, he may get entangled. There may be explosion in the confinement. There may be a different kind of gases release. So this and vehicle movement. In vehicle movement, what happened that if due to the vehicle movement, if it is getting hit into the wall, he may get accidentally hit to the wall. The vehicle may get topple or something else could happen. These are the hazard related tasks. These are the task related hazard. Where the operating machinery, a lifting operator signaler. Example: a lifting operation signaler. If operating machinery, if a employee, if a worker is operating a machinery, if he is working alone, then there won't be any signal man to give his signal that the backway is clear. No, what do you say? The back space clear, the front place, the right. He won't be getting the all the, as we know that the blind spot. There are certain blind spots that people the operator may not be able to see that. And the vulnerability means the person is having maybe.
I want to
Hello?
add that operating machinery. Best
Yeah,
example
you
is
can
that
add.
tower crane operator. He maybe work for 8 hours or 12 hours for lonely because of the way the accident egress is very high. if he once he get in the machinery at 8 o'clock, he will be get down his duty and the shift end only. This is the clear example of the
operating machine. Even in the same,
working.
even in the rig operators are working for 12 hours. Rig operators are working for 2 hours, and no one is there to take at that pace. So what happens in rainy season, the soil conditions are damp. The machine get tilt down. So at that time, people he is lone working and he's getting a situation where that there is nobody to actually what happened that I have worked in a civil field earlier. As you people know that I have came from a civil field. So what happened that the rig operator is working for almost 12 hours and no one is there to guide him. As one rig machine is one rig machine is at one place and another rig machine at that place. So there is nobody to take care of there is no one to see that what is going on to the rig operator. So what happened then? Certain situation comes where he required some signalman, but otherwise, actually I have seen that our rig operators, our rig machine almost tilted downward, as there was no one to signal him. So it is better that to avoid lone working, he should be supervised so that he should be given signal what steps to be taken to further movement, to take a movement on. As you know, the rig machine is having almost 20-30 tons weight. So, and it's a big machinery because the oval and sometimes the oval. I was working in a Khera Nagar in Mumbai. What happened that the rig machine, the rig operator didn't took off his march downward. He was taking in the march upwards and going straight away. What happened that the overhead line cable was passing through. It hit that cable and a cable got break and it got fall. So it lead to a certain situation where people were gathered and lots of things were happened. So it is better that no one should be lone working should be avoidable. Controlling of risk of loan working. The first step in the control of loan working is, of course, risk assessment. First thing is the risk assessment should be there. Employer need to investigate the potential hazard faced by loan worker and assess the risk involved both to the loan worker and to any person who may be affected by the work. We should develop a safe system of work. Ensuring an appropriate level of supervision should be there. Proper supervision should be there. Ensuring that workers are competent of working. Provide appropriate instruction information. Emergency procedures should be developed. These are the controlling the risk of loan working. We should make a safe system of work. We should supervise properly. See to that workers are competent to do the work. Emergency procedures should be there. Proper instruction and information should be provided to that person. Safe system work for loan working. The general principle is that loan workers should not be put at more risk. हाँ
भाई मैं थोड़ा लीव कर रहा हूँ, मेरी एक मीटिंग है, ठीक है, तो सॉरी फॉर दैट. मैं प्रोजेक्ट मीटिंग है मेरी, ठीक है, उसमें वो रैंप अप प्लान के रिगार्डिंग है कुछ. सर को बताया मैंने, ठीक है, थैंक यू.
Sachin, I would like to add an example of a loan working in our OHE site also. There is one member. Sorry. This one person who you may know always comes for CAD welding. He goes from one location to another location. He goes from one location to another location always. And for that, to avoid that loan working, we supervise him. Always our engineer is moving along with him. So to avoid the risk of loan working, as you have told us, we are taking all these steps. So he is a lone worker. Otherwise, to avoid this, we are doing this.
Saurabh, you can add on something here. I know you can add on something over here. Saurabh, है क्या नहीं?
What you want, Sachin? What you want to explain?
Sir, I don't want anything from you, answer. I'm asking Saurabh, sir.
Okay.
If I need any help of you, sir, I will be telling you, sir. Saurabh.
Okay, you can ask from Akbar now. He's there.
Okay. Akbar sir, if you want to add up on certain confirmation of list of loan working, you can add on, sir. If you decide from any.
Loan work. Hello. Loan working. I want to add one more administrative control like shift change or. Hello. That's it only. Only administrative control. Remaining all control measures are here. Only one administrative control like work hours.
Okay, work hours will be less. Actually, in construction field, the work hour is almost 11 hours or 12 hours for a rig operator.
Not like that. If it is a change, if only one worker works for 4 hours and after that alternative another operator is there.
Okay. At a time, 2 workers should be there for a shift change. 4 hours he will be doing, 4 hours that guy will be doing. And that is a very good step actually. What is safe system work for loan work? The general principle is that loan workers should not be put at more risk than other employees, and to achieve this, the extra risk control measures may be necessary. Precaution should be take account of the normal work and possibly emergencies such as fire, equipment failure, illness, and accident. What it is saying, the safe system work, what is saying that precaution should be taken of normal work, and what can the possibly be emergencies such as fire, equipment failure, illness, and accident. Ensuring appropriate level of supervising. Supervisor periodically visiting and observing people working alone. It is clearly said that it should be supervised properly. Time to time, supervision should be done. The worker who is doing loan working over there. Regular contact between loan worker by using cell phone or calling or using text message or calling. Automatic warning device which operate if specific signals are not received. If warning devices which operate if specified signals are not received. If specified signals are not received, that means the person may be in a tough situation, or he may be facing some problem. So at that time, we should be aware that that guy, if he is not picking up the call, if on continuous basis, if on a continuous call he's not picking up the call, he's not messaging, he's not replying, then we should. These are the warning signs which we get in from the end. Check to ensure a loan worker has returned to the base or home once there. We need to make a change that after a loan worker after the completion of the work, the loan worker should after reaching home, he should be messaging that I have reached home. I am in the information should be transferred to the supervisor on a continuous basis until he reach home. Sure, workers are competent. Loan worker need to be sufficient experience and fully understand the risk and precaution. It is clearly said that the competent person should be engaging in a loan working work so that he is competent in the work, and if any equipment failure or anything happen, so he should be such competent he can do all his work by his own. Employer should set the limit to what can and cannot be done while working alone. Ensure employees are competent to deal with circumstances that are new, unusual, or beyond the scope of training. For example, when to stop work and seek advice from supervisor, how to handle aggression. Akbar sir.
हेलो बोलो.
मेरे को थोड़ा इसके बारे में बताओ, हाउ टू हैंडल एग्रेशन.
हाउ टू हैंडल
एग्रेशन
मतलब वही होगा बिहेवियर बेस्ड. हेलो. हाँ, वही है ना कि जैसा बिहेवियर का इसमें आएगा. हेलो.
एक्चुअली
सर बोलिए.
हेलो.
हाँ बोलिए ना, बोलिए.
वही एग्रेशन मीन्स वही आएगा ना बिहेवियर का. इसका ये आएगा जैसा बंदा कंटिन्यूस वर्क करेगा तो थोड़ा एग्रेसिव मोड में वो काम.
हाँ, वो फ्रस्ट्रेटेड होता है. हाँ, फ्रस्ट्रेटेड होके काम करेगा. हाँ, तो हाउ टू हैंडल एग्रेशन, मतलब कैसे उसका फ्रस्ट्रेशन दूर करे, क्या काइंड ऑफ स्टेप्स नीड टू बी टेकन टू हैंडल एग्रेशन. हाँ,
मैं इसमें कुछ बोलना चाहूंगा कि जनरली साइड पे होता ही है एग्रेशन, क्योंकि जो ज्यादा कॉन्फिडेंट पर्सन होता है ना, ज्यादा एक्सपीरियंस पर्सन. हेलो.
हाँ हेलो।
हाँ, साइड पे कोई ज्यादा एक्सपीरियंस्ड पर्सन होता है ना, अगर उसके अपोजिट
हाँ
उसको अगर कोई काम बता दो तो वो
हाँ
अग्रेसिव हो जाता है कि ये मेरा
एग्जैक्टली
काम।
एग्जैक्टली
हाँ, तो ये हो सकता है उसके साथ, जनरली होता ही है अपने साइड पे मैक्सिमम।
होता है एग्जैक्टली। और
हाँ।
दिव्यम नो द बेस्ट।
दिव्या and सौरभ।
दिव्यम सौरभ नो द बेस्ट how to handle aggression.
Can control the aggressive with giving training on behavior-based safety and appraisals and appreciations. लोगों को मोटिवेशन प्रोग्राम्स ऐसा कंडक्ट करके we can handle this aggression.
सर अकबर सर, इसमें भी एक प्रॉब्लम है। लास्ट टाइम में भी हमारा जो मंथली होता है ना मोटिवेशनल प्रोग्राम, तो उसमें कैसे 3 गिफ्ट हम डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करते हैं 3 पर्सन को। तो अभी जो फिटर का क्या बोलना रहता है कि हम लोग सबसे ज्यादा रिस्की काम करते हैं तो हमको गिफ्ट नहीं दिया जाता, तो उस साइड से भी वो अग्रेसिव हो जाते हैं। दिव्यम को बहुत अच्छे से पता है ये चीज।
I can add up. I can add as the question suggests how to handle aggression, in which correctly said by Akbar sir, we can do behavioral based training. Other than that, other person like Sachin has said, a higher age group person or a lower age group person. In that, a person's calmness is needed to perform the task, so that other person aggression don't escalate. To counter effect that, you should be calm enough to counter that aggression, so that to counter that aggression, so that that person can listen to you also. If you get aggressive also as a safety person, that will be the bad thing.
Okay, look who is saying.
Yeah.
It's good. Sachin,
Yes, sir.
how much presentations are more there? Okay, then start now. We have one more presentation from Sachin. No, from Akash.
Akash or Dheeraj? Sir?
Dheeraj is left the meeting due to some project meeting. Na?
Yes, sir. So, the last one is the information and instruction. Employer need to pass on appropriate information to loan worker so that the worker can fully appreciate the hazard which associated with the specific activity or specific action. What happens if a experienced person, if a experienced loan worker is working over there, if a new person is hired, then he should pass on all the hazards and risks and what are the confirmation to the new worker so that it will be familiar for him. The worker conducting a home visit must be informed of the known history. What it is saying that if a worker has gone through any abnormality over the side or any adverse situation at the side, then he should report all those things to the supervision, that what kind of incident happened, what are the mental health condition that may take client be unpredictable. Emergency procedure. The risk assessment should identify possibly emergency that might affect loan worker. We should make a risk assessment that can possibly emergencies like fire, or there is a fire, explosion, or any kind of emergency can occur over there. So we should be making a risk assessment on the basis that procedure must be established to deal with this emergency. That means a rescue plan should be there to take out from the situation. Then relevant training should be provided to training should be given to them. Then how an emergency call will be initiated, who the first responder will be via ERT team. This is basically ERT team. If an emergency call is done, who is the first one to take an action? Emergency kit should be present, should be there. Who is the first responder? Who is the first aid guy? Who is the fire marshal? Who is that admin? And there may be requirement to liaise with other emergency responders such as the police or private healthcare provider for speedy repair. These all things we have already done. Whenever we are entering in our gate, we see that the security office, there one poster is pasted on that glass, that is ERT team, emergency team. That's it. That's enough from my end. If you have any queries, you can ask me later on also. You can ask me here also.
हाँ भाई, any question?
If I'm not able to explain all my points, you can ask me later on also. Not an issue for me. If you give me a person call, I'm not anything.
Danish, any question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have one question, sir. The subsidence, sir, I have not clear the subsidence.
Subsidence, okay.
You are the only person who can clear the doubt of him.
Okay, go to that slide now. Subsidence. Okay. Danish, just
क्या
read
बोला?
first line.
My doubt नहीं बोला.
Yes, sir.
Danish doubt.
A
हाँ,
structure is only as good as its foundation.
Okay, now just stop. Now read these 4 items that are under subsidence.
Overloading, water content, mines and tunnel excavation.
Now relate it with tunnel making in DMRC. Cracks in the building, collapse of the buildings, and all these things. Do you have questions now, or you understood what you want to say?
ठीक है सर, बाद में कर लूँ, अभी थोड़ा कंफ्यूज हो रहा हूँ.
Okay, let me show my slide, my screen now. Danish, are you able to see this subsidence?
Yes, sir. Yes.
This building is collapsing from one side. Okay, so subsidence is the sudden sinking or gradual downward setting of the ground surface. Means if foundation is going down, sudden or gradually, then it is called subsidence. And it can be due to water ingress under the foundation. It can be due to any tunnel or something under the building. It can be due to some kind of earthquakes or something. These are the reasons. No? So is it understood, or I have to play one video?
No, sir,
If a building is there, okay, let me speak in Hindi. अगर कोई building है, ठीक है, बना हुआ building है, अब उसका फाउंडेशन एक तरफ से या फिर पूरी तरफ से धीरे धीरे या फिर एकदम से नीचे चला जाता है, तो उसको सबसिडेंस बोलते हैं. अब वो कैसे हो सकता है? जैसे मैंने मेट्रो का एग्जांपल दिया था कि एक बिल्डिंग बनी हुई है और मेट्रो वहां से टनल लेके जाना चाहती है. अगर वो टनल खोद रहे हैं, उस टाइम पे वो बिल्डिंग कोलैप्स हो जाती है, तो ये क्या हुआ? सबसिडेंस. या फिर और एग्जांपल देते हैं, जैसे कि गांव में रह रहे हैं, घर बना हुआ है और बाढ़ आई. बाढ़ की वजह से बाढ़ नीचे नीचे, जैसे सौरभ ने बोला था, पानी ऊपर तो जाता नहीं घर की छत से, नीचे है बिल्कुल. वहां पे बहुत दिन तक पानी रुका हुआ और घर की जो कोलैप्स हो जाता है घर, या फिर ग्राउंड में धंस जाता है, उसको सबसिडेंस बोलते हैं. ठीक है. अभी कुछ सबसिडेंस जो है वो वर्ड सेडिमेंट से लिया गया. सेडिमेंटेशन प्रोसेस पता है क्या होती है? सेडिमेंटेशन प्रोसेस होती है जैसे पानी के अंदर बहुत सारी मिट्टी है या फिर हैवी कण है, हैवी कण होते हैं ना, वो पड़े हुए हैं और हम पानी को रख देते हैं बहुत देर, थोड़ी देर के लिए, तो सारी मिट्टी नीचे बैठ जाता है, पानी ऊपर साफ हो जाता है ना. तो नीचे बैठना भारी आइटम का, हैवी आइटम्स का नीचे बैठना, वो सेडिमेंटेशन होता है. उसी से सबसिडेंस आया है. ठीक है. जैसे टाइटैनिक डूब गया था ना समुद्र के अंदर, तो वो भी सबसिडेंस है एक टाइप का. एक टाइप का सिंकिंग जो होता है उसको सबसिडेंस बोलते हैं. समझ गए आप? ये आप भी कुछ डाउट है क्या?
Yes, नहीं सर, समझ गया.
अब कुछ डाउट नहीं है. चलो आकाश, तुम रेडी हो क्या? अपने पास है 15 मिनट 20 मिनट. कितनी देर में खत्म कर लेगा?
30-40 मिनट लगेंगे सर.
30-40 मिनट. और वैसे स्टैंडर्ड टाइम तेरा कल का है ना, 7 तारीख का?
हाँ.
ठीक है, तो कल ही करते हैं, कोई दिक्कत वाली बात नहीं.
आज और है ना सर अपने पास, तो और 30 मिनट बचे तो कर लेते हैं ना, जितना होगा उतना, क्योंकि उसमें 2 टॉपिक है.
मजा नहीं आएगा. मैं चाहता हूँ कि तू एक ही टॉपिक एक ही बार में खत्म कर दे. चलो ठीक है, बहुत पढ़ लिया हमने आज. देखो यार, ये ना सबसे पहला चैप्टर था बुक का सी पार्ट का. ठीक है, और मुझे पता है आज बहुत सारे लोगों को प्रॉब्लम हुई होगी, इंक्लूडिंग मुझे भी। यार मैं भी कौन सा इंग्लिश में थोड़ी ना, अंग्रेज थोड़ी ना हूँ। तो लेकिन फिर भी हमें कोशिश करनी चाहिए कि हम कुछ ना कुछ तो बोल लें जिन लोगों ने नहीं बोला, जैसे कि नितिन है अपना, है ना। क्वेश्चंस नहीं पूछ सकते तो क्लैरिटी दे दो यार, कोई टॉपिक ऐसा जो तुम्हें समझ आए उसके बारे में। अभी मैं जब पूछूंगा कि तुम्हें क्या समझ आया, तो कोशिश करो इंग्लिश में तुम कुछ ना कुछ समझाओ, कुछ ना कुछ बताओ। ठीक है, देखो ये अपने बंदे हैं सारे लोग, इनसे शर्माने का नहीं। वर्ड्स सेंटेंसेस कुछ तो खराब होएगा ज्यादा, इससे तो कुछ होगा नहीं ना अलग इससे। तो सारे अपने बंदे हैं, जो क्या करेंगे, थोड़ा बहुत मजाक करेंगे यार, उससे क्या फर्क पड़ता है, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता। तो अब हम एक एक करके स्टार्ट करते हैं, किसको क्या समझ आया, किसने क्या नोट किया। 10 मिनट तक बस, सबके पास 1 मिनट है, 9 बंदे हैं, 1 मिनट से ज्यादा किसी ने लेना नहीं है। तो हम स्टार्ट करना चाहते हैं नितिन से ही। नितिन सबसे ऊपर दिख रहा है मुझे तो मेरी स्लाइड में। तुम्हें दिख रही है ना मेरी स्क्रीन? मेरे बाद नितिन ही। चलो नितिन, अभी तुम इंग्लिश में कोई भी 2-4 लाइनें जो तुम्हें समझ आई, या कोई भी एक टॉपिक वो एक्सप्लेन करो। चाहे अगर तुम्हें सब्सिडेंसी बताना है सब्सिडेंसी बता सकते हो, लेकिन जो तुम्हें समझ आया वो, जैसे लोन वर्किंग क्या होता है वो बताना चाहते हो, हाइट वर्किंग क्या होता है वो बताना चाहते हो, या फिर स्ट्रक्चरल के बारे में बताना चाहते हो, स्ट्रक्चरल सेफ्टी के, तो उसके बारे में 2-4-5 लाइनें बोल दो फटाफट 1 मिनट के अंदर। चलो।
सर ये मैं ये बता रही हूँ, कॉजेज ऑफ डैमेज टू द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ बिल्डिंग। इसके सर इसमें जो भी पॉइंट्स आता है वो मैं बता रहा हूँ आपको, जो मैंने नोट डाउन किया है। एडवाइजर
ट्राई टू स्पीक इन इंग्लिश ओनली। गलती होएगी ना, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, इंग्लिश में कोशिश करो बोलने की। चलो।
adverse weather condition, overloading of structure, hot and corrosive atmosphere and vibration, alteration of the structure members, subsidence, declaration of building materials, excavation, unauthorized modification.
Okay, can you give examples of this overloading of buildings?
Overloading structure, solar radiation, rain, wind, dead loads, dynamic load, live load.
It's under weather. It's under weather. What is about overloading? Overloading of structure.
Overloading structure are 3 points: a dead load, dynamic load, and live load. Live load, furniture, persons.
Okay, we got that, Nitin. Next, Akbar.
Sir, I am a little bit confused with that heading of this section, workplace welfare requirement. What is meant by welfare? I am a little bit confused with this heading, sir.
Welfare requirement means
Is it good?
I'm
Hello?
not getting you, Akbar. This is the name of the chapter, workplace requirement and specific workplace. Okay,
No,
but
workplace welfare requirement.
yeah, it is in part 1 and 2. So Nadeem have prepared for 3, 4, 5 part, and 1 and 2 will be prepared by the Kostub, and that welfare part will be coming under first and second part. It is not still discussed. It will be discussed in first and second part. If you have any question, you can ask, or if you wanted to say something, you can say about welfare also. But my point is that we should discuss about the Sachin's presentation.
Yes, sir. Yeah, this presentation is going through building safety.
Okay, next.
First of all, I have
No,
seen
no, Akbar, you have to explain one point. Either you speak about structural safety, either you speak about working at height, either you speak about loan working. So you have to speak on one topic.
I want to speak about the hot and corrosive atmosphere.
Okay.
The atmosphere just includes the sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, and oxygen and ozone. If the presence of moisture, they contribute to the foundation. If the foundation is mixed up with concrete and iron, if is a corrosive atmosphere, it will damage the strength of the foundation. Like sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, and oxygen and ozone, they are react with that metals.
Okay. Now Divim, thank you यार, अकबर बढ़िया तो था.
First of all, I would like to explain a definition of structure which I have understood from Sachin's presentation. Like it's the organization of arrangements of elements. Like if for that, first of all, Sachin said, what is structure? From that, that directly comes that into my mind is my body, the skeleton structure. If you say a knee joint should be replaced with the shoulder joint, it will not fit because it's a interrelation of elements. So basic definition that I have got it from the structure is this, that my body and the skeleton structure. Then we talk about several causes and one of the example which I would like to give of overloading of the structure. Overloading of the structure, I will relate it to the fire incident in which drain pipes are choked with debris, and due to overloading of water, the building collapses. I have seen some videos of this also, in which due to overloading of water while firefighting a fire, the building collapses. So it may be it is a dynamic load, I think, but I will get a better picture if Amit sir will explain in the next slide. Then I've got to all the things like subsidence. I don't know what is subsidence earlier. Then a clear idea is being given by Amit sir. This is sudden settling of the building in its own structure, uh, whether from constantly over a long time or suddenly. Uh, that's it. Workmanship, I don't know earlier what is workmanship, but Mr. gave an clear picture what is workmanship. So, thank you very much, Sachin, for this excellent presentation. And I've got its clear picture what is about what has been taught in today's presentation.
So let us discuss about the three definitions. This is the definition of structure. A structure is an arrangement or organization. Are you able to see my screen now? I have highlighted few points. A structure is
Yes,
an
sir.
arrangement and organization of interrelated elements in a material object or system or object or systems organized. Okay, this is the definition, or you can see from here also a building or other object constructed from several parts. That is called structure. And here is workman degree, the degree of a skill in which product is made or a job is done. Okay.
Yes.
So next Kostu.
Hello.
Yes, Kostu.
Hello. Okay. I would like to discuss about subsidence. Later, first, sir, you told about the subsidence. It is an item which bears maximum load. Later on, you focus on that the subsidence is a thing where a load or material sinks or sedimented, and it is because of the overloading water content or mines and tunnels or excavations. I have noticed a few sediment subsidence examples in my town also where there is coal mines, and I have discussed about I have saw some subsidence examples there, and I have question for Sachin that how vibration can lead to deterioration. Sachin.
Hello.
Hello, Sachin. You have discussed about the factors of the deterioration of the building, in which you have discussed vibration. So I would like to ask you how vibration can lead to deterioration.
How vibration can
Lead to deterioration. Hello.
I'm showing my slide. Wait a second.
Okay.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Sachin, I can hear you.
Just see my slide.
Yes, I can see.
What happened if vibrations, if any vibration activity is going on near the construction, near the building, if any vibrational machine is working near the construction building, if it is having a higher amplitude, higher vibration level, so it can disturb the soil beneath the foundation. We are talking about the subsidence. How vibration affect the subsidence? What happened that due to the high level of vibration, the soil in the soil beneath the foundation can get apart from the foundation. It can be, what do we say? It can the soil it can disturb. The disturbance of the soil will create an effect on the foundation of the structure. That means the ground stability will not be the same. It is directly affecting the ground stability of the foundation.
Okay.
If you are not clear, then you can ask.
So, are you cleared first, or I have to show something?
Yes, I'm cleared. But sir, I want to ask you one thing. In the MNP side, there is excavation carried out. Besides the excavation, there is ATU building. So, can that vibration emitted from the excavation affect that ATU building?
Yes, sure. Okay, let us see this picture. Have you seen this bridges and all? Bridge is a kind of structure, and it can be deteriorated by vibrations. You have heard about few collapses of the bridges in India, means in Mumbai, in Kolkata. Okay, so this is one example of vibration deterioration. Concrete is get deteriorated due to vibrations in the bridge. Okay, are you seeing this picture now?
Yes.
He's saying in 2006 it was like that. In 2007 it was like that. In 8, in 9. Okay, and this is your answer to the RTU building. If a heavy vehicle, vibration may be of different type due to heavy vehicles, maybe compactors, person generated or machine generated, maybe due to earthquake. Earthquake is also a kind of vibration. So yeah, if our machine is working nearby RTU building and such kind of crack that is visible in this picture may develop in the building, and is due to the this machine vibration. Hope you understood, or I have to explain more?
No, I understand, sir.
Then Sachin. Next, Danis.
Yes, sir.
One topic to speak now within 1 minute.
So subsidence, a foundation is going down suddenly or long time damage due to overloading, water content, mines and tunnel and excavation.
Okay. Nadeem.
Yes, sir. I know about the structure. Structure is intercorrelated elements or objects. Cause of cause of damage structure of buildings, like adverse weather condition, overloading of structures, vibrations.
Okay, Nadeem, I wanted you to speak on emergency during loan working. What measures we can take, and one example. You have prepared that slide now.
Yes,
So one example of emergency, how we can handle, and what kind of emergencies are there during loan working.
In emergency procedures for loan worker, there are many digital equipments using for emergency procedures. In these equipments, two things are available. One is receiver or initiator or responder. When a loan worker going at sites, they take walkie-talkie, like walkie-talkie, and if that walkie-talkies are based on human sensors, if they are not doing any activity at approx 20 or 30 seconds, then automatically signal generated and goes to the control panel where the first responder is available, and then first responder are spreading the information to the nearby police stations or medical teams to rescue that person.
Yes, I got your point. Actually, Sachin, that's what I am wanted to explain. During lone worker, our normal emergency systems will not be of that much of efficient. We have to think about digital things like CCTV cameras. We have to think about deadman switch. Hope you heard about Indian railway drivers. There is one deadman switch. If in a railway operator will means train operator will not be responding for some time, it start blowing, means start whistling. And next is that what Nadim told, that we have sensors, motion sensors. If a person is not doing any motion for a particular period of time, then it starts sounding or may send the message to the emergency team or police or to the ambulances. So these are the emergency controls during lone working. Okay, I hope you all understood, or I have to speak in Hindi also. Danish?
No, sir, understood, sir.
Okay. मीन्स नॉर्मल जो मीन्स होते हैं ना लोन वर्किंग में, वो काम नहीं करते इमरजेंसी के। अब तुम जाओ बोलो कि भाई तू जाके इमरजेंसी स्विच दबा दे, अगर उसमें इतनी ताकत हो इमरजेंसी स्विच दबाने की, तो फिर तो लोन वर्किंग का इशू खत्म हो गया ना इमरजेंसी का। तो इसके लिए बहुत सारे डिजिटल मोड्स होते हैं, जैसे कि सीसीटीवी कैमरा लगा दिया कि कोई बंदा वहां पे बैठा हुआ है, सीसीटीवी कैमरा में ऑब्जर्व कर रहा है कि बंदा ठीक है कि नहीं। कुछ ऐसी चीजें होगी जो सेंसर्स को, मोशंस को डिटेक्ट करती हैं। कुछ ऐसी चीजें होगी जो डेडमैन स्विच होती हैं कि थोड़ी थोड़ी देर बाद बजना स्टार्ट कर देती हैं। अगर बंदा उसको टच करके नहीं बंद करेगा तो इसका मतलब प्रॉब्लम है ना, जैसा ट्रेन ऑपरेटर्स में होता है। तो ये कुछ इमरजेंसी मेजर्स होते हैं। सचिन ठीक है क्या?
सर एकदम
क्या कहता है? हाँ, तो अब चलो बहुत हो गया। आकाश तो तुम नेक्स्ट टाइम करना। हाँ,
I would like to add an example for motion sensors. I have seen some like video of National Geography in which they have shown like truck drivers in England, outside our country, truck drivers have motion sensors for eyes. Like if their eyes are closed for a few seconds, the motion sensor will will give signals to them so that they can wake up and alert. Like it's an example of motion sensor.
I'm just giving an idea, na, so that people could understood what are the emergency means for lone working. Okay. And first of all, thank you, Sachin. You have started speaking in English, and now we will try all our personals to speak in English so that we can improve. Not only the presenter.
This is the best way to get.
Yes, I have already told na, Sachin and Saurav are good in English. Even Divyam is also good, but we have to improve more. And next is, I think tomorrow we have presentation from Akash. Akash is not that good, but I hope Akash will speak English to English. Akash, is it okay?
Sir, I will try. I will try, sir.
You will practice 2-3 times at home from now. You can speak English to English, and even you can use Hindi also, but try to speak. Okay. Sachin, Vikas is there or not? Hello, Sachin. Are you nearby Vikas or
yes, sir.
Far from you? Hello.
Yes, sir.
अरे भाई, विकास ने पूरा प्रेजेंटेशन सुना या कुछ छोड़ दिया? आंख में प्रॉब्लम है, सुनने में तो नहीं।
सर सुना सर, बगल में भी तो बैठा हूँ मैं।
हाँ, मैं उसी लिए पूछ रहा था यार, मुझे पता है तू सुन रहा होगा, तभी तो मैं पूछ रहा हूँ। हाँ, चलो सम अप करो फिर, अब तेरी बारी आ गई। जस्ट नॉर्मल सम, तुझे कुछ बताना नहीं है, जस्ट ऐसे ही। आज की प्रेजेंटेशन सचिन ने दी। सचिन की थोड़ा यार हौसला अफजाई करते, बंदे ने थोड़ा आज थोड़ा एग्जाम्पल सेट किया है ताकि लोग सीखें कुछ।
हाँ सर, एग्जाम्पल सेट किया उसने आज, मतलब थोड़ा सा अच्छा प्रेजेंटेशन दिया है। As previous presentation, he has done some exercise on his skills and he has learned something about presentation skill, how to speak, how to present his presentations. So, and the training was also good. I have already seen that PPT because he's preparing just sitting nearby me. So anyway, thank you, Sachin. A very good presentation you have given.
सचिन भाई, चलो ओके, किसी को कुछ कहना भी सचिन के लिए?
I would like to say thank you, Sachin, and Nadeem also, because Nadeem has also worked on this PPT.
अरे नदीम तो ऑलरेडी थैंक यू में है, नदीम दानिश और ये तो रोजा में है, सबका थैंक यू ही है। ये रोजा कर रहे हैं, देश का अन्न बचा रहे हैं, और दूसरा पूजा भी कर रहे हैं भाई। क्या कह रहे हो?
पानी बचा रहे हैं।
हाँ, सब बचा रहे हो। गर्मियों में पानी बचाना तो और ज्यादा पुण्य का काम है। चलो ठीक है, चलो भाई, थैंक यू।
थैंक यू सचिन। थैंक यू भाई सचिन।
थैंक यू सचिन। थैंक यू सचिन भाई।
रात में इतना खाता है वो नहीं बता रहे। 4 बजे उठ के कितना खाता है, 5 बजे तक 6 बजे तक खाते रहता है खाते को। अरे तू रोजा रखता है कि नहीं? तेरे बता मेरे को, तेरा भरोसा नहीं मेरे को। अभी रखा? अरे ये मेरे को मालूम में रखेगा, ये बोल बच्चे वाला है। अरे क्या सुन रहा है मैं?
क्या
साले तू रोजा रखा है कि नौटंकी कर रहा है? तो बता मेरे को।
रखा है
भाई, तेरा भरोसा नहीं।
ये नहीं रख सकता, दानिश नहीं रख सकता।
मैं भी बोला नहीं रखता ये अंदर।
अरे यहाँ बैठ के जब था ना पिछले साल, मेरे बैठ के दारू पिया।
क्या रे दारू पीता है साले?
अकबर को बताना
है।
लास्ट टाइम
मैं उसमें रुपए समझ में सब नहीं करता।
बस ईद में गया था, छुट्टी करते।
ईद में गया था घर पे। वाह साले 4 बजे तक देखा मैं तो उठ के वेंडी खाते रहता है पूरा दिन भर वो खा ही लेता है तू साले। तो आराम से कोई भी नहीं।
तू एक दिन रहना साले, एक दिन रह बस, एक दिन रह, तू खा के दिखिए फिर शाम को।
अबे मैं 4 बजे तक सोया रहेगा तो मेरे को क्या 6 बजे तक 2 घंटा तो उठ के अभी तक खाया नहीं कुछ। रोजा ही है मेरा। अब बोल।
पिया तो है पानी, सिगरेट तो पिया है।
सिगरेट भी है,
पानी भी नहीं, बीड़ी पिया होगा।
सिगरेट भी है। सोच यार तुम 4 बजे दबाया भी है, दबा दब मैं फिर दबाया 4 बजे। वो नहीं बता रहे थे साले। 4 बजे मस्त भरपेट दबा लिया एकदम। साले मैं तो रात से भूखा। सोच
अबे वो ठेका वो खुला कि नहीं उधर?
नहीं यार, तू लेके आ दिल्ली से आते टाइम।
तब तक क्या करेगा? तो पिएगा नहीं।
भगवान भरोसे नितिन है, हमारा नितिन ही भगवान है।
नितिन भगवान है। अबे उसको पता है दीप कितने दिला रहे नितिन फुल खंबा?
किसको?
कितने दे रहे नितिन खंबा दिलाता है?
नितिन ही है भाई, नितिन ही अपना सब कुछ है। अन्नदाता।
बढ़िया है यार।
चल भाई भूख लगी साले। दबाया 4 बजे मुर्गा का क्या खाया क्या मालूम। क्या खाया?
आगे तेरे चिकन खिलाता हूँ।
तू क्या खिलाएगा साले? तेरा बच्चे का बाटे नहीं तो गांड में डाल दूंगा चार्जर सीधा।
ठीक है, आगे दोस्तों।
चल मजे कर।